So there's a lot of questions that we don't really know, but it is going to create chaos. And ultimately, what this is a power grab from the Supreme Court because it gives them the ability to oversee more of this. All right, Jaden, what do you got going on for the news?
Well, the top story in today's roundup, the Supreme Court on Friday limited the ability of lower court judges to block executive branch policies nationwide, opening the door for a majority of states to at least temporarily enforce President Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship. With their decision, the justices appeared to upend the ability of single federal judges to freeze policies across the country. The powerful legal tool, known as a nationwide injunction, had been used frequently in recent years to block policies put in place by Democratic and Republican administrations and gave rise to charges of judge shopping. Now, I think some points of clarity here that we need to deliver. The 14th Amendment has not changed. If you're born in the U.S., you are still a citizen, period. What's happened? The Supreme Court has said that lower judges can't block Trump's immigration orders nationwide. That's it. That's all that the ruling stands on. Did they say that the order is legal? Nope. Did they say that it goes into effect now? No. So the policy is still blocked. His move to end birthright citizenship is still blocked. It just has to be challenged by district instead of an all at once injunction. This is a procedural win, not a policy win. So there's no reason for MAGA to celebrate this or for anybody else to panic on this. This is just a mere shift in priorities here.
It's not a thing to panic about yet.
Right.
It will be. Because here's the thing, right? And this is the concerning part about when you have these appellate districts. So let's say, for instance, on the West Coast, which is the ninth district, that they come to this determination that Doge can't do this, right? And it's a nationwide injunction, right? Or I'm just using an example. I know this for executive orders, but I'm just using this as an example. Maybe I can find a more apt one. Like Trump orders this executive action that's very clearly illegal. It allows for Texas to do it. So say, for instance, Trump orders an executive action targeting this whatever, right? Whatever he wants. Let's say he wants to target Medicare, right? Well, in the ninth, it's the same, they need a legal remedy. They go to court in the Ninth Circuit, right? And it gets appealed, whatever, goes to the appellate courts, and they issue an injunction. It only applies to the Ninth Circuit. So if those files are being messed with in Texas or DC, it doesn't apply. So the question then becomes, how do you enforce it? What do you do? Because if the Ninth Circuit is saying you're affecting people in this circuit and they're over in DC is where this is being done, how do you mitigate that? How do you navigate that? It also opens up a big can of worms in that the Trump administration could get real creative, move various different government agencies down to Texas, where the Fifth Circuit will uphold whatever he says because they're ideologically nutbags, and they could rain havoc. Because then every other district, no matter where people are getting, where they're suing for legal remedy, right? Like none of them are going to be able to get it, because if it's in Texas, they go, we don't recognize your law, right? So it opens up a big concerning can of worms. The other thing is here is going to create a patchwork system across the country where things are not being applied equally. It's going to become chaotic. It's going to become very, very chaotic. I know that this is a new practice of the last 25 years or so. I think it is now needed more than ever because of how extensive and big the United States is, and data centers, various different agencies that are now handling stuff. It would make sense. So there's a lot of questions that we don't really know, but it is going to create chaos. And ultimately, what this is a power grab from the Supreme Court because it gives them the ability to oversee more of this. Where it's like, okay, even if someone in the Ninth Circuit does something, it's not going to affect everyone. We don't really have to worry about dealing with it. But if they do something really chaotic and we want to overturn it, then we can take it, right? It allows for these courts to do things and not beat other districts to the thing. Now, I'll admit, right, there are problems with national injunctions. There's 100% problems with them being applied and used very clearly ideologically. The problem is that Trump is targeting the law. He's targeting our rule of law. He's targeting the Constitution. So now you're in a position where that rule of law is in question because he can go elsewhere. He can enforce it in places that don't recognize that district. List goes on. And so it's going to create chaos, it's going to create problems pretty extensively. The extent of which I don't know. It really, really, really is exacerbated by the fact that Donald Trump just attacks the law. And this is going to make it easier for him to attack the law. Is there anything major that's happened? It didn't remove birthright citizenship. It didn't do X, Y, and Z. No, but there will be issues in the future, very clearly. And we've seen this in the first 6 months where specifically courts in Seattle in the ninth were blocking and issuing national injunctions. And now that's just not going to happen. So
Yep.
I don't really know what's going to happen, but look for chaos.